There were many lies spread by Darth Sidious after he was attacked by the Jedi, and after he initiated Order 66, causing all of the Jedi to be extinguished from the galaxy. In an effort to cover this all up, Palpatine created many lies about the Jedi Order, but also uncovered dark truths. Palpatine's claims of being attacked by the Jedi within his office may seem to be a bit preposterous when it is taken into account that there is no hard evidence besides his horribly disfigured facial scars. Even worse than this, when Palpatine seemingly reveals that the Jedi have plotted to take control over the Republic for some time again with no evidence, it becomes a bit suspicious as to the validity of these claims. However, Palpatine did in fact provide evidence for these claims after his rise as the one true Emperor. Palpatine himself, along with his best propaganda writers, came together and rewrote large sections of the Jedi's history, as well as revealing several true dark secrets about the galaxy and the Jedi, as well as their relationship with one another. Palpatine went back deep into Jedi lore and placed hints that they would one day plan to take over. Palpatine attempted to place sinister seeds among much of the true documented history of the Jedi Order, as he then traveled even later back in the timeline, making distinct plans that made it appear as if the Jedi really did plan to take control of the Republic after the Clone Wars, and take control in a desperate bid to keep the Republic dependent upon the Jedi Order. Palpatine would also reveal extremely shaky evidence against the Jedi that confronted him directly within the confines of his office, which included audio recordings of Master Windu attempting to arrest Palpatine, as well as recordings of each of the activations of the Jedi lightsabers that were present. Mysteriously though, Palpatine's lightsaber was not caught and was not recorded on the audio, and what was recorded between the exchange with Palpatine and the arresting Jedi was altered, to make it appear as if again the Jedi were attempting to overthrow him, telling him that he was not the Senate and that the Jedi were now the Senate, this being the major piece that caused the public to turn against the Jedi, as again Mace Windu arresting Palpatine was not an official order on behalf of the Senate, and was technically illegal, something that Palpatine mused to himself quietly, believing that the Jedi had almost had him, and that if Mace Windu had slightly been more patient, they would have. This little mattered, however, as the Jedi had lost favor with the courts, and they were swift to turn against the Jedi with very little evidence against them. Experts were later brought in, and did in fact confirm that the sound of the activation of the lightsabers could not have been fake, and could not have been added later, and did in fact belong to the lightsabers of several Jedi, with this being the final straw. But Palpatine was not satisfied with this. He wanted to go back and insult the very history and origins as well as the philosophy of the Jedi, as changing the Jedi that now currently lived was not enough for him. Sidious needed to alter the entire galaxy's view on the Jedi ever since they defeated the Sith. It wasn't enough for him purely for the Jedi that lived during his era to be insulted. Because of this, Palpatine, now having access to all of the archives within the Jedi Temple, got to work. Initially, Palpatine wrote within Jedi lore that they had fallen under the guise of the dark side of the Force, and wanted to force their will upon the entire galaxy. After defeating their only true rivals in the Sith millennia ago, the Jedi, according to the altered writing of Palpatine, believed that they were the best suited individuals to govern a new republic. A new republic that did not answer to the Senate, but instead answered solely to the Jedi. A plot that Palpatine wrote took place again decades before the Clone War. Palpatine would later go on to write within Jedi records that there was no such thing as the Force, or at least as it was portrayed to the public, and that the Jedi simply created it to confuse the people of the galaxy and gain power over them where normally they wouldn't be able to. Palpatine wrote that there was no such thing as the light side or the dark side of the Force, and that the Jedi had always been evil, something surprisingly that many people in the galaxy seemed to buy, as they had never directly interacted with, let alone seen a Jedi Knight in action. Palpatine would call for all of the Jedi to be turned to the Republic, as he explained even if one Jedi Knight were able to escape, that the plan of the Jedi had been concocting for years could again occur from the shadows. Therefore, they needed to exterminate and locate every single one. Not only did Palpatine rewrite sections of the Jedi's history to make them look more devious, he changed their very philosophy, and made it appear that the grand manipulation of the galaxies was the Jedi's plan, and that they only served the Republic and the galaxy in an attempt to learn from it, and one day overthrow it. Palpatine would later go on to alter and influence individual writings of prominent Jedi, most notably of course altering the journal of Mace Windu, which cataloged many of the true events that the Jedi Master had experienced experience. But of course, Palpatine planted seeds of the dark side and manipulation within the true writings of Windu. Mace Windu had been a Jedi that Palpatine had a particular disdain for, and therefore painted him as the true villain and mastermind of the Clone War, portraying Yoda within the writings as a senile old creature that simply followed the bidding of the more powerful and arrogant Windu. Windu also apparently wrote within his journal that the Jedi had converted to the dark side of the Force shortly after the initial defeat of the Sith, and had been practicing it in the shadows for decades, right under the Republic's nose. Although Palpatine presented much of this as evidence, he was ultimately unable to destroy or alter all of the Jedi's records, although he did do major damage to the true records. The true doctrine, though, would later be found and intensely studied by Luke Skywalker, who managed to restore much of the Jedi Order with the help of the Force ghosts of Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Luke would later go on to clear the names of his own two Jedi Masters in Yoda and Obi-Wan, two Jedi that the Empire claimed fell to the dark side of the Force, as well as change what was written about Mace Windu, with Mace becoming a favorite of many of Luke Skywalker's new Jedi initiates. However, with this, Luke realized that much of what Palpatine highlighted about the Jedi Order was true, and realized that they had to some extent become foolish peacekeepers, allowing a Sith Lord to grow right underneath their thumb, something that Luke resented the Jedi for through all of his time as a Jedi Master, not wanting to make the same mistakes that his masters had, in becoming complacent. It also worried Luke a great deal that the public would turn on the Jedi so quickly and prominently, and as a result of this, Luke would distance himself from the Republic and refuse to ever officially join it. Again, unfortunately for the Jedi, much of what Palpatine would ultimately say about them would be true. They did believe themselves powerful enough to go around the Republic in order to arrest Palpatine, and Mace Windu was in fact exceptionally trigger happy, too eager to go through the appropriate means, and began to overthrow Palpatine on his own, in a sense somewhat going rogue. It was also true that while the Jedi lost themselves within a great Clone Wars conflict, they lost sight of the public's opinions on them, and grew distant from them in an effort to keep the war away from civilian populace. Unfortunately though, as a result, this distanced the Jedi from these civilian populations. It was, however, Palpatine on the other hand that very meticulously began forming a relationship with the public, as it was noted that Palpatine made far more public appearances than nearly any other chancellor before him, and would often speak directly to the Senate as well as the public individuals of the galaxy in an effort to gain their trust, while the Jedi did not. Anyway though, my friends, what are your guys' thoughts on this? And the fact that Palpatine told many true stories and false stories about the Jedi after he rose to power, and revealed many of their dark secrets, including the true recording of Mace Windu and other Jedi confronting him within his office. Do you think it's actually plausible for the public people in the galaxy to turn on the Jedi so quickly based on this information? Or do you find it unbelievable? Thank you as always, my friends, for watching these more longer formed videos. It really helps me out and it means the world to me. Just as a reminder, following the holiday season, there is a big discount and sale on the Star Wars merch page, where you can get t-shirts and hoodies as low as $11, as well as up to 70% off. So if you see any designs that you like, you can check it out. It's the top link in the description below. As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.